Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. Also, good afternoon for those who are in China. So we are very glad that you can all join us today to this interesting topic of the webinar. It's about the circular economy in China. So my name is Jessie. I will give you a quick introduction of the agenda of today. So you can see here. I'm Zhang. I'm based in Switzerland, working for EU relations. So our first speaker will be Joan Zhang, who's the general manager of FinChi in Shanghai. And FinChi in Shanghai is also played an important role in the success of the company we are going to hear about, the circular economy. So after Joanne's introduction about FinChi, we will hear the case study of BMH, a Finnish company working in the circular economy in China. Janet, who's the general manager, will introduce about their journey to China and also their success. And after this, we will hear from Vasco about the Enriching China upcoming activities. And during the time, you can also raise your question in the comments. And then after Vasco's presentation, we will come back to the Q&A to all the speakers. So now we come to our first presentation. Joanne Zhang is the general manager of Finland China Innovation Center and has many years of personal experience in developing soft landing and accelerating support for Finnish companies and partners. So Joanne, the floor is yours. We are looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Jessie, for your kind introduction. And good morning and good afternoon to all the participants. And I'm Joan Zhang from FinChi Innovation Center. And FinChi is, and I'm very glad to be here to give you the introduction about FinChi today. So try to find the next slide. So FinChi is short for Finland China Innovation Center. We were established by the Vasco. Can you help me to change the next slide? It doesn't working. So FinChi is short for Finland China Innovation Center, which was established by the Finnish Ministry of Trade and Industry in 2005. And we were also a daughter company of Business Finland and active members of the, and also the active member of the Team Finland operations here in Shanghai by supporting all the Finnish companies. And due to our excellent works in the past years, so we are also one of the licensed incubator by the Shanghai government and Pudong New District. And luckily, we are also part of the ENRICH soft landing zone here so that we can help wider European companies for their access to China, for their market entry to China. So in the past 15 years, we have already helped over 130 European companies for their successful operations here. So in FinChi, we try to provide first is the office space, and then we provided the soft landing services and also the FinChi community so that all of different elements can interact actively together to create an ecosystem for the European companies to grow here. Next slide. And also, as Vasco, can you help me? So despite of slides, I can first go on. And then also, as you should have seen the slides. The next is about the, so this is like the FinChi space. So we are located here in the Zhang High Tech Park, which is also one of the first national parks in China and also part of the free trade zone area. And we have different office space offering to the Finnish companies and the European companies so that they can go inside and start to work from day one. So, but this is more like the physical space which we offer to different European companies, but more often, but more importantly, what we offer is our services. We provide, we call soft landing services for the European companies. First, we have the virtual office. We have the virtual office so that the European companies, they can start there to have their establishment in China with when logos, address, our people will help them to act as their presence here. And also we will create like ecosystem which they can enjoy. But then most importantly, usually when the European companies you come, then definitely you will need to physically to be here to test the market, to find the partners, to find investors for you. So what we provide is like the soft landing services. With the soft landing services, the companies, you don't have to register your own legal entity in China for the time being, because as we know, try to establish a company is very easy. It takes about 2 to 4 months, then you get the companies ready. But then if you try to deregister the company, it takes years for you to do the tax clearance and to close the company. So what we try to provide is like the soft landing services. So the European companies, you can come here to hire local employees. We can help you with finding the right persons. If you're a foreigner, you can come here. We will help with you all with all the practical things like visas, work permit, etc., so that you can start the business from day one without any legal entity. But afterwards, if you find the business here is really good and it's the time for you to register your own legal entity here to have a permanent presence here, then we also can have the value-added services. We also have the company registration services, and also like the business credit report service to help you to check the credibility of your partners, like different kind of services to help you. And also one thing need to mention is that once the company was registered in FinChi, because we are the licensed incubator here in the local government, licensed by the local government, so we can also help the companies to get the subsidies from the local government. According to the current 3-year policy from the government, then for example, we can help with the rent subsidies from the local government, and also like if you have the R&D activities under this legal entity here, then you can also have a bigger booking, have double the booking for the R&D expenses to help with the which means you can you will have a lower corporate profit, and means you can save the taxations in the end. So what we try to provide is a total package service from the virtual start to kick off the business in China, and then the soft landing services to have the business operations here by under us as the umbrella, and then you can also have like your own business, like legal entity here to do the day-to-day permanent business here. So what we try to create is a full package for the companies when you come here, and then we give you the know-how, we give you the information, and we help you to establish the whole operations and the structure for your business development here in China. And also we have, since we are established by the Finnish government, so we are not that profit driven according to the other like market players. What we try to do is to help the companies to really get the business going here. So in our FinChi community, you can see we have a very strong element from Finland, like from Consulate, Team Finland, Finnish Business Council, and also moreover, we also, because we are the incubator here, so we also closely working with the local authorities, like the Zhang High Tech Park. They have like 4 key killer industries here, like the biopharma, like AI, like like IC industries. So which is quite in line with the hot or strong industry in Europe. And also they have about over 461 R&D centers here just in the Zhangjiang High-Tech Park, and over 5,000 companies here. So there are many different resources which we can help to bridge for the companies, for the European companies to connect it with the local players. And also like we're also part of the different incubation associations, so that we will also try to refer our in-house clients to connect with other partners who can also help to accelerate their business development here. So this is like the FinChi community we try to create for the companies here with us. So on the next slide, then you can see the chronology of us. So in the past 15 years, these are all the companies we have helped for their growth in China. And the logos here, which are presented, actually are the ones who have been in FinChi to stay with us. We helped more of the companies who are, maybe they are not our in-house clients, but we also help them with different projects and a different business. Yeah, so this is a brief introduction about FinChi. So we try to create a safe and trustworthy platform for the companies that you can grow from day one, and there is no legal entity for you to register at the beginning, but still you can start the business and test here. So that's like what we're trying to offer to the companies. So and also, as Jessie already introduced, so if later on, like the next speaker, Jeanette, and their BMH, sorry, I missed this slide. So this slide is about the current clients with us in FinChi. So now we have about 36 companies with us, mostly are the Finnish companies also, but we also have like European companies with us. So, and the industries are quite varied, but mainly focus on the automations and ITs, clean tech industries, and biopharma industries. So it's also that like nowadays the high tech, or how to say, the hottest industries here. So yeah, so now let's move to the next slide, like the final slide. So we are trying to create trustworthy and risky-free platform for the companies so that you can start to grow here in the market. And also we try to create an access for the companies. When you come here, you know no one, but we can create all the necessary services and networks to use for you to start the business here. So as our slogan here in red, for your easiest access to China. And also you can hear more live stories from our also now current client here, Jeanette from BMH Technology. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joan, for this excellent introduction about FinChi. So FinChi is located in Shanghai. FinChi is one of the soft landing zone partners of ENRICH. So Shanghai is for sure still one of the top attractive place of China to go. And with FinChi, you will have a soft landing and also a safe landing. So now we would like to hear a success case from BMH Technology China. So Miss Jeanette He owns more than 10 years experience in environmental protection field. She has been working for BMH Technology China office as sales manager since August 2012 and become general manager of BMH China since October 2019. So she holds a master degree of environmental science and engineering from Tongji University, China. So Jeanette, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good morning and good afternoon to everyone. I'm very glad to have this opportunity to give our company's presentation and also our journey here in China and to share some experience together with everyone. So my presentation mainly contains three parts. First is a brief introduction of our company, BMH Technology. Then the second part is about BMH's journey in China. And then the third part is that why BMH at FinChi. Okay, first, I would like to give a brief presentation about our company. We are a company that headquartered in Finland and mainly doing clean tech business. Our main business contains two parts, sustainable waste refining and solid biofuel solutions. I will give a little bit detailed introduction later. So next slide. Okay, yeah. Our company was founded in 1929, so already 91 years history now. Of course, our business has changed during so many years, but today we mainly compact two global problems. First one is the amount of waste dumped on landfills, and the second one is the CO2 emission caused by fossil fuels. So it means that we try to make waste-based fuels that can, on the one hand, reduce the waste amount that is dumped on the landfills. And then on the other hand, the fuel can be replacing the coal or petrol oil, some other fossil fuels that trying to reduce the CO2 emissions to the earth. So our customers are mainly power plants, cement kilns, and waste management companies. So next slide. Okay, next slide is not, okay, now it's coming. This slide shows mainly of our solutions. So from these pictures that you can see that we are providing this kind of big mechanical machines that are trying to refine the waste to the solid recovered fuel, which I will introduce later. So all these processes are designed and manufactured by our companies. And now it is applied in the many countries in the world. So next slide shows that through our around maybe 30 years experience in this area, we have saved about 441 million tons of CO2 emissions since 1980. So this is the mission of our company, that trying to help with these CO2 emissions. And this is equal to about 182 million single flights around the world. So that's why we are in this clean tech business, and we are trying to do something for the world. So now I will introduce a little bit more detailed about our solutions, about these waste refining solutions. So next slide shows a definition about this SRF or RDF. SRF is called solid recovered fuel, and RDF is called refuse-derived fuel. Both these are alternatives to fossil fuels. Like I mentioned earlier, that we are trying to refine the waste, mainly non-hazardous waste. For example, this municipal solid waste or industry and commercial waste, into a high quality and standardized fuel, which is called this SRF or RDF. And this fuel has a very high requirement standard in Europe. So that it means that it is similar like a coal or petrol oil. Sorry, last slide. It is same as a coal or petrol oil that can be traded on the market, and it is mainly used for these power plants and cement kilns, where the coal was the dominant fuel in the past. But in Europe now, I would say that most of the cement kilns and power plants that they already use a quite big amount of SRF in order to reduce CO2 emission and get this carbon credit. So next slide shows about the difference, or let's say the comparison between SRF and traditional fossil fuels. So through this slide that we can, sorry, takes a little bit time. Yeah, through this slide we can see very easily that the heating value means, sorry, last slide. The heating value means the economic value of the fuel. Comparison between this SRF and other fossil fuels, you can see that the heating value, for example, the heating value of the coal is 25 megajoule per kilo, and SRF is 20 megajoule per kilo. So it is almost the same. But if we look at the CO2 emission, that we can see that this SRF CO2 emission is only 25% of coal. So that shows this environmental friendly fuel, which plays a big role in this CO2 emission reduction. So next slide, I will show this the basic production process of SRF or RDF from our company. So this is just a very brief introduction. That's the waste coming in from here, and then through the whole process is a mechanical process that first through a shredder, that shredding everything into a business card size, let's say less than 90 millimeters size. Then through these separation lines that separate mainly the non-combustible material, means the impurities from the waste. So you can imagine that in the municipal solid waste or industrial and commercial waste, there are a lot of things that are not combustible. For example, the metals, stones, glass, and these are, and if we put this into the combustion chamber, that it will cause many environmental problems like the dioxin problems or some CO problems. So the separation process is trying to separate all these inert or impurity materials. And then finally, after the separation, the SRF or RDF fuel is produced. And all these processes are according to the EU standard, as I mentioned, and the final product, this SRF, is also according to the EU standard, that is separated into different classes. Okay, so next two slides are just some examples from our company's deliveries. For example, this is SRF production plants that we delivered to Poland. The waste coming in from here, and then through the whole mechanical process, and then it is producing SRF for the power plants and cement kilns in Poland. Then next slide shows an example that this SRF production line is directly connected to a power plant, to the circulating fluidized bed boilers. So yeah, you can see from here that the waste coming in from here, and then through all these processes, and then through the combustion chamber, then it produces heat and electricity for the residue area, for the resident area, and finally the emission is also under the control, under the emission standard. Okay, next slide shows some of our references in the whole world. So I would say this is only part of our references. You can see that in the early years that our references are mainly in Europe, for example, Finland, Poland, Sweden. But during these, let's say, 5 to 10 years, our focus is mainly on Asia, or let's say Southeast Asia and China. So you can see that we have delivered many lines to China, South Korea, Thailand. So this is also our focus area. Okay, so next slide. Now I'm going to dig a little bit into our BMH journey in China. Next slide. Okay, so also the slides doesn't appear, but I can first start the explanation. BMH was decided to enter into China in 2012. At the beginning, let's say from 2011, the Finland headquarters has the idea to investigate about the market in China, so that we made, this slide, yes. So at that time, we made a kind of a market study about China, and it shows that we should investigate more here in China. So we established our sales rep office in China in 2012, and since then we were in FinChi Innovation Center, and until now we are still there. So from 2012, I joined this company, and at that time we had only 2 colleagues here in China, 1 Finnish people and myself. And then during this, let's say, I would say that from 2012 and 2013, even 2014, we are trying to investigate more about this market, and at the same time we are educating the market and related stakeholders. So first we need to understand what is the rules here in China about this industry. Who is our real customers? Is it really a government-owned business, or it is a private enterprises business? And then, of course, at the same time, we also need to educate this market, because at that back then, no one knows about this SRF concept in China. So we also did a lot of work to introduce this concept to the government officials, research institutes, customers, and all the experts, and also invite them to Finland to visit our references, and to invite also Finnish experts to give some seminars or workshop to all the related stakeholders. I would say this work is very, very important for us if we look back then, because for a new thing in China, it is always first let's say first people eat the crab is very brave, and so also it's the same in the business, that if there is no one has tried this solution, so that nobody else would like to have a try on this. So then until 2014, we sold a very, very simple waste refining line to a customer. So this is also, I think, a very good experience from us, that at the beginning we were also trying to sell the whole waste refining systems to the customer, but it is from their point of view, it is too big risk. So they customer gave us this idea that how about, let's say, trying to have something simple and of course cheaper to see the result first before they make the big decision. So that's why in 2014 actually we put our R&D resources to really to make a new machine for specific for China market and sold it to the first customer. And then in 2015, we get this market breakthrough in this waste to energy industry. And so that helps us a lot, really see the big market potential in China. And then everything goes on, let's say, very, very well. And in 2016, we got this market breakthrough in the cement industry. And then in the end of 2016, we decided to establish our own WOFE company in China. That is also located in FinChi. And while we were deciding to build this Chinese company is that we see a lot of service business needed for our sold lines, because for our waste refining lines, it is dealing with waste, so a lot of service work is needed, and customers obviously they don't want to deal with foreigners for this day-to-day business, service business. So that's the reason why we established this Chinese WOFE company. Then in 2017, we started the localization of our spare parts, and it is also mainly for the service purpose, because these spare parts are needed very, very frequently, and you cannot always import from Finland. The delivery time is long, price is high, so you cannot really meet the customer's requirement. So that's we started this localization work from the spare parts. And then also at that time we start to set up our BMH China organization structure. Our company that grows from 2 people to 5 to 6 people at that time, and covering mainly the service function and some of the purchase function. Then in 2018, let's say our BMH China company is in real running. We applied our global ERP process into BMH China company, and everything seems to be in order at that time. Then in 2000, then of course during this period, we also sold more lines to China, and we are also trying to find out more potential markets in China. Then in 2019, BMH China is running this service business steadily, and our target is trying to be self-financing for the BMH China company. But of course, at the beginning, we need the headquarters financing support. And then our target for 2020 is that we will start the localization of our equipment, means the whole machine here. Because in China, I think everybody who has done business in China knows that price is very sensitive issue. So we must handle that. And this localization of the equipment is a big step from our company to do this and to be getting closer with the customer. Okay, next slide. Okay, on the next slide, I just have let's say a few things to share, or maybe we can discuss later with all the participants, that that I have summarized during our journey in China. First one is to follow the market change, because when I look back from now, that I can see that the market has changed a lot since 2012 until now. The policies, the regulations has changed a lot, customers has changed a lot. So this is very important to keep following the market change. And also, for example, about the competitors analyze and update on the stakeholders situation and all these things, so that you need to know what is happening on the market, and you're trying to find the new market, but new potential market. And the second one is adapt the business culture. I think everybody knows that the business culture in China is quite different as in Europe. So we can only let's say trying to adapt this, but not trying to change it to European direction. For example, the sales process probably is quite different as in Europe. Customers are not necessarily following the sales processes that European companies are getting used to. The bidding process, bidding document requirement are all different as in Europe. So this is very important that we need to get along with this business culture in a very, very fast response. And also this faster response is also very important, because Chinese customers, they always require your proposal maybe in 3 days or in 1 week, which is not so used for European companies. And then the third point is find the right people that working for the company, that they have professional knowledge, but also the experience about working with a Finnish or European company, and know how to be the bridge between the headquarter and the customer, that help the company to get closer with the customer. And then the last but not least is the strong support from headquarters. I also feel this is very, very important for a company's growth in China. Sometimes the headquarters might be not really understand why Chinese customers is doing this or doing that. Then in the Chinese colleagues should trying to explain this to headquarters, and headquarters people should also try to stand on the customer's side and get real understanding about their behavior, and then give strong support for the Chinese company. In that way, the whole company can be united as one person, and support the business for China. Okay, then the last part of my presentation is why we are in FinChi. So as I mentioned earlier, that we have been in FinChi since 2012 with a rep office, and until now we already registered our own company, but we are still staying in FinChi. Next 2 slides. Okay, so the first reason is that when you come to China at the very early stage, that staying at FinChi is having a less risk and investment for you. As Joan has mentioned, that you don't need to register any entities in China, but you only be in FinChi, and then you can start your work to find your customer, investigate the market, and do all the business. Then next slide. do all of your own business. So it is very handy for the companies who are just coming to China. And then the second point is FinChi has all these back office functions, like Joan has mentioned, that we don't need to worry about all these administration business, like the financial, HR, and all these daily admin work. Sorry, last slide. So we can just open our computer and start our own work. And then the third is that FinChi has a tailored service. So for example, we have also asked FinChi to recruit our persons for us for many times, because we have been in FinChi for so long time, and we have daily communication with them, so they know very well about our concern and our request. So when they are finding the new person for us, they can not only look at their CVs, but for example, their personalities and how they will be fit into our company. So FinChi has a very good tailored service for us. Then of course they have very professional staff to help us handle with all the things. And then until now, because we have established our own company, so nowadays we are not using so many FinChi services. We are outsourced to other companies, but we are still willing to stay at FinChi because of this information network and family atmosphere. In FinChi, we can communicate with also many other Finnish companies or European companies, that we can share our experience and also maybe give some suggestions to each other. So this is a very good platform for us. And then also we can, as Joan mentioned, we also get this subsidy from the local government for being in FinChi. So that's all about my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Janet. Thank you for this very interesting presentation and all your valuable insight about your business. And we can see that you are truly a satisfied client of FinChi. So I'm sure there will be some questions at the end, but now we are coming to our Enriching China upcoming activities from Vasco, who works at SPI in Portugal. SPI is the project coordinator of ENRICH project. So Vasco, please.
Thanks, Jessie. Thanks for the introduction. And from my side, thank you also to the other speakers for your valuable inputs. So as Jessie said, my name is Vasco Barros. I'm a project manager and international consultant at SPI. SPI is a private consultancy company that currently is managing and coordinating the Enriching China project. And most of you probably which are attending this webinar have already attended previous webinars and all are also familiar with the center and the activities that Enriching China provided. However, I would like also just to make a brief overview and just share the upcoming activities to anyone interested in participating. So, as you may know, and if not, I will give this information. Enriching China is the European network of research and innovation centers and hubs, which initially started as a Horizon 2020 funded projects from the European Commission with the aim to promote the STI ecosystem in China. In this case, we are referring to China since SPI is coordinating. However, there are two other sister projects which focused on Brazil and the US, which also cooperate in close connection with our center in China, providing similar services and also to the European market. So the idea behind ENRICH in China is to promote the STI cooperation between Europe and China, to reinforce the leadership of the European STI stakeholders in China, but also to connect and support the European organizations in entering or being located anywhere in China. So the ultimate goal of ENRICH in China is to support the European science, technology, and innovation actors. This would include business, innovation, and research actors, from entrepreneurs, startups, SMEs, and large companies, to research centers and universities, but also associations and business councils. So we have a large spectrum of clients. And our unique selling point is to try to provide high quality, tailor-made services to our clients in a diversified way. So in the slide you can see the service offer from ENRICH in China. In this case, we usually like to refer that ENRICH in China provides a unique customer journey experience. So by saying this, we are able to provide support at any stage of your business or technology which you are currently staged at. But we can also support from a very beginning point to a final desired point, which would probably be the physical establishment in China. So we provide information through report and feasibility studies and market analysis by the development of tailor-made reports, which are provided on demand by the clients. We have a couple of reports already developed by ENRICH in China, which are available on the website, focused on different sectors such as health, Industry 4.0, technology transfer. So a couple of information is already available in the website, which I invite you to also check. It's free of charge. We organize the trainings and of course webinars being part of the training programs such as this one. And also so within the trainings we have several workshops and short courses being delivered also on demand, but also some organized by our own from ENRICH in China, focusing on different topics. And we also organize cooperation enabling events such as breakfast events, short morning events, or also missions to China. So this is also one of our main services that we provide. If you are looking for something which a bit more structured and strategized, we also have a consultancy and coaching service where we support businesses developing their business strategy into entering the Chinese market, or just in case you would need the specific support in overcoming an obstacle or an issue which you are having in your current business. We also support in giving some counseling and some advice to your business. Last but not least, as I mentioned, we believe that the majority of the businesses would be interested in establishing physically in China in different locations. So through our network of soft landing zones, as the case of FinChi, represented here by Joan, we aim to provide to the clients a more tailor-made option solutions in terms of locations and diversified sectors and different businesses in the establishment in China, not just focusing on the two major cities as Beijing and Shanghai. Of course, we have presence in these cities, but this is not the only goal. We want to reach out to other areas which are less known. And I will briefly also present to you further on. So as I was mentioning, our training programs, we can provide on-demand trainings to any organization. This could be interesting specifically for business associations or business councils, or any type of organization which would have associates or members, which would be interesting in receiving a training from our experts, so we can provide trainings in different topics and different sectors, which would be of more interest to the client. We currently have one workshop being organized on February 18th. This will be taking place in Berlin. You'll have all the information available in our website, but you can also have here a quick view on the agenda of this workshop. This workshop will be mainly conducted by our external service providers of ENRICH in China. We launched in 2019 a call to select certified external service providers and soft landing zones to be part of the ENRICH in China network. This would be organizations which we feel that and we believe that have the quality to provide high-level services to our European clients. And in this case, we have EI Consulting and LC Consult, which would provide a presentation and sessions in the business culture and the language in China, and also a session more focused on the business models and the strategy towards the Chinese market. Of course, these workshops are also very interesting in terms of providing network opportunities. So we also have sessions for networking with other participants, which is of course a great opportunity for interacting and engaging with different stakeholders and to make useful contacts. As I mentioned, in case you are interested in organizing a webinar in your institution and you would like to be ENRICH in China to provide this to you, please contact us to our email address, which I will show you in the end, with a request and with any specificity of the topic, and we will make sure that we can make a proposal and provide this service. So as I was mentioning, the soft landing zones within ENRICH in China community, we currently have 5 certified soft landing zones. These are located in Beijing, Shanghai, Shijiazhuang, Xi'an, and Nanjing. So these are the different 5 locations where we have soft landing zones. As Joan presented, these soft landing zones provide a different set of services to the client, such as administrative and bureaucratic support. They provide co-working space. They can also interact for several topics on legal advice. So they will be the contact point for you in reaching also to the local community to find the relevant partners. So all of this information is also available in our website. You can also check more information on these organizations, and in case you are interested to apply to these opportunities, and to have a chance to be physically located in one of these soft landing zones, you can also contact us for more information. Just to go over one last type of service, which I also mentioned, focusing on the events, we organize more or less 2 times a year specific missions to China. So these are missions that we organize by taking a delegation from Europe to China, going through different cities in China. This one here will be taking place between April 20th to 25th. And we usually organize our missions back to back with the major conferences or forums taking place in specific cities. And we have here our matchmaking tour being organized in these dates, going through Beijing and Hangzhou, which the participants will have the chance to participate in the 2nd Nordic Edge Smart City Summit, attending the different plenary sessions, the exhibition hall, the seminar being organized within ENRICH in China, and of course something which is always very attractive B2B matchmaking meetings with Chinese counterparts. Besides this, we also have the Senior European Digital Economy Forum taking place in Hangzhou, with several sessions of ENRICH in China taking place at this event. And in both cities, many business visits to Chinese leading companies are organized, so this is also part of the program. Something that we also have already planned for the end of the year is the annual funding forum, which we successfully organized the first edition in October last year, and we have already the dates planned for the second annual funding forum taking place on the 6th and 7th of October in Budapest. So in case you also want more information about this event, feel free to contact us, and we will share you more details which we have at the moment. All these services and the activities that we organized are currently provided by the implementing partners of ENRICH in China. Here described and showcased 13 organizations. As I mentioned, SPID coordinator, but we have a total of other 12 organizations, 8 from Europe and 5 from China. From different locations, we have EBN, which is the European Business Network, based in Belgium. We have FFG, which is the Austrian representation of the federal government in Austria. Fraunhofer IPK, major research institute in Germany. We also have EURelations, our partner from Switzerland, the private company, which is also very experienced in European opportunities and cooperating with the Chinese market. And we also have, as I mentioned, different Chinese partners, namely Systech and Torch, which are our partners connected with the Chinese government and can also provide valuable inputs with the Ministry of Science and Technology. We have 2 major universities, such as Tsinghua University and the University of Nottingham, based in Ningbo, so the Ningbo campus. And also with us, we have UPIC, which is the European Union Project Innovation Center, which is based in Chengdu and has also big connections with the European side and European Commission, as they once were a European project as well. So as you can see here, we have our physical locations and our offices, our headquarters in Beijing and a regional hub established in Chengdu. And we also have a headquarters based in Brussels through our office at EBN. And you can access all the information of our activities and latest news through our website. And again, just feel free to email us through this address, and we will reply you as soon as we can with all the information that you request. And also feel free to follow us on the social media, which we are constantly updating with our latest activities and latest news. So feel free to stay tuned and follow our activities. So from my side, thank you very much. I think now we can read the couple of questions that we have within the system, Jesse. So maybe if I may, I can already have a quick look to the questions that we have, and maybe I will just ask the speakers to provide an answer. I mean, let's see who would be most suited to answer. Is that fine, Jesse?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So let me go just quickly through the. Let me go through the questions. So I have here a question referring to a company in Austria asking to start, if it's possible to start without registration. If yes, what's the fee? What's about the fee? I'm not sure if this is dedicated to the soft landing zone, which I believe. I don't know. In case Joan wants to answer, I believe that I mean the fee to be based in the office would vary, and the different services will also vary, of course. But Joan, would you have a more specific question to this? What kind of fee would you have?
Yeah, as Vasco said, you are correct. Our fees will be varied based on the different level of the service that you choose from us. For example, we have the office space, and also we have the HR service. It means if you start business here without a company, but definitely you will need to hire the local employees to help you with the business development, or you will like dispatch one expert to China to do the business here. So we also have the HR service, which is also another separate service item. And then, of course, then if there's employees, there's office operations, then you also have expenses in China. So we'll also help with all the payment arrangement as the cashier, more like the remote cashier management office for your company here in China. So we have different level of services. So if you have the interest and you can share your contact with me, then I can send our like detailed proposal to you with the service descriptions and also the price.
Okay, thank you, Joanne. I have here just maybe not a follow-up question, but kind of related question from the same person mentioning if the NCP in Austria are informed. Yes, in case of Austria, the main NCP contact is FFG, so they are a partner of the project, as I was mentioning. So they are aware of our activities and of course they support us in also the dissemination of these opportunities. So I have here a question for, I believe, ENRICH in China, so I believe directed to me. So thinking about selecting soft landing region, how about finding customers in other parts of mainland China? That's where the soft landing is taking place. Did you have any experience or problems with working across regions in mainland China? How important is it to select correct regions to start with, even consider soft landing? Would it be easy, possible to move to different soft landing zones, or even start at several in parallel? So thank you for the question. Let me see if I can get my idea across. So the idea behind ENRICH in China, connecting the soft landing zones and trying to enable and giving the opportunity to our European clients to establish in China, goes way beyond just the fact of being based in the major cities, which, as we know, a city in China can represent a country in Europe, and so different cities and provinces have different innovation focuses and sector focuses. So this is also quite important for ENRICH in China to cover. In terms of the question of how important, I mean, it is to us to select the correct region. Of course, this is not a free opportunity to apply in terms of you get the application and you will get selected. This will go through a steering committee selection, which revises the application in detail and then provides a score which needs to go through the threshold to be approved. Of course, we also have in mind the different regions and different sectors which these regions focus on. This is also important to us to give some diversification. And the idea is to try to connect the correct European client to the most suited soft landing zone in China. So in case there is a specific European client which develops a specific product or technology which is more suited to a specific region in China, this is of course something that ENRICH in China can also do in terms of advising to where the organization should establish. Also, the European organization applying also needs to fulfill the criteria to also be selected. So it's also not any company that can apply to the soft landing zones. And yes, more or less this is the idea behind it. I think I covered basically all the questions. In terms of the last one, would it be easy possible to move to different soft landing zones? Following what I was mentioning, different soft landing zones are located in different regions, and different regions have different investment focuses in terms of specific sectors. However, this is not a complete limitation. is just some adequation to the needs of the client. In principle, this would be possible. However, this needs to be analyzed case by case.
And thank you, Vasco. So
yes.
I would like to also ask Jeanette one question. So you showed the your journey to China, and it seems that there are a few steps which are very important. They are all very important. You had really made the good decision on the journey to China, and but I'm sure there are also challenges on the way on the whole journey. What would you maybe say the few challenges so far?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Jessie, for your question. Yeah, of course, during this journey, we have encountered a lot of challenges. For example, as I mentioned that we need to follow closely the market change. And for example, previously, our main market focus is on these power plants and the cement kilns. Of course, we also made some projects to these customer segments in China. But during past couple of years, we found that some policies or regulations are changed, and also the industrial situation has changed, so that we have to admit that the previous customer segments might be not our focus, and we need to look for the new customer segments for us. So this also took us some time, and we need to investigate the new market segments, and also entering into new market is not so easy because they are existing players and we are new there. So it spent a lot of efforts to get familiar with the new market customers and get the trust from them. So this is one of the examples.
Thank you, Jeanette. I think these are all very, very valuable experience, and many other companies can learn a lot from this. And then I think my last question would go for to Joan. That you have supported many companies. You are really well experienced, and I'm sure there are many success cases, but I'm sure there are also those who are not so successful. How would you maybe conclude some of the main reasons why the company were not successful going to China? Yes, Joan. Did you hear my question?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I think first the reason is that if like a European company, you plan to come to China, then it takes time. So as you can also see from BMH's success story, it takes about first 2 years for them to learn the market and to educate the market about their offerings and to find their business opportunities. So it's not a short channel. So it takes some time. It means you also have to invest in the market. Maybe takes 1 or 2 years. And we see some of the companies, maybe they come and they take a look and they think it's interesting. Then they come for maybe a couple months and they found there's no results. Then they go back. So this is one risk. And the second one also, the companies you have to adapt to the Chinese market. As like in China, the price is quite a sensitive one. Of course, like usually for the European company, you have good technologies, but then still how you can adapt your technology and like high techs towards the Chinese market to make it more acceptable for the Chinese customers. And the third one is also there will be difficult for you to find the right partners, the right customers in China. Because there are many different players in market, you have the competitors, and you also need to search who will be the target customer for you. Maybe there are many different difficulties, and also how to find the right employee in China to help you with the sales, help you with the customer development. So this is also one reason. And also, if the company wants to be sustainable in China, the support from headquarters is also very important. You can get the good support from headquarters, then you can get the technology support, the fast response time. So these are all can be helpful for the company to be more sustainable in the Chinese market. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think also organizations like FinChi and other soft landing zones will help you to reduce all these risks. And thank you very much for today's for participation in our today's webinar, and also thank you for following our activities of ENRICH. There will be more this type of webinars of case studies of companies who has been who will share their experience and by supported by one of our other soft landing zones. So please stay tuned and also visit our website and also follow our newsletter. Thank you very much and bye bye.
Thank you all.